And back behind those horses, I Am Unstoppable. Osmosis at the clock tower, led by a length to Shinzo Arkansas Kid, and I Am Unstoppable is running on. The leader, Osmosis, with 50 metres to go. Osmosis is clear and will take it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Quaddie Poddy, brought to you by Nicko and Cashy. Nick, how are you, mate?
Yeah, mate, doing well, doing pretty good. Played golf this morning. Shout out to one of the boys. He had a 50-point game, so I had to give him a shout out. Well done, Sloan. Well done, mate. So, yeah, not doing too bad.
Yeah, so, golf aside, my golf game, I haven't worked on in a while. I'm going to get out to the courses soon, though, I hope. But, of course, a lot of racing to discuss, but just a somber note before we get into quite a bit of fun we have planned for you in this episode. Just got to shout out the connections of Riff Rocket.
Yes, another sad thing. Surgery didn't go too well, but yeah, rest in peace to Riff Rocket. I reckon I was going to win some big races this prep, unfortunately.
I had it as my number one seed for the Caulfield Cup. I just thought the world was his oyster. It's just a shame. I put it out on Twitter. I'm Thunderstruck, Very Elegant, Riff Rocket. Three of my favorite horses. They've all gone down the last couple of years. Complete off-track incidences that had nothing to do with them. I'm Thunderstruck again. Was in a bit of a medical incident. Very Elegant was giving birth. And then, Riff Rocket again, surgery that didn't really go the way that they planned. Very, very sad. Hopefully, the stars of our game can remain healthy going forward. We hate seeing deaths in general, especially when it's, out of the realms of racing. Anything that just happened in a paddock randomly, you hate to see it.
Yeah, and it just proves if Cashy likes a horse, it doesn't have too long. So anyway, on a more positive note, we'll move on. You made a silly bet, my friend.
Talk about liking a horse too much and it coming back to bite me. I promised that if Via Sistina ever lost to Pride of Jenni, I would eat a Chilli, and look what happened on the weekend. My goodness me.
Yeah. Just got too far in front, Pride of Jenni. Via Sistina didn't really look like handled the track very well.
Oh, yeah, geez. I reckon it up. Run it 10 times out of 10 on a good track. I think there's a different story there. The track had hail on it on the weekend. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was. Look, yeah, I don't take anything away from Via Sistina, but I also don't take anything away from Brightside's win and Pride of Jenni's close second there. So another good battle between those two, but Via Sistina will be back. I think still a strong chance for the Cox Plate, and be tough to beat.
Yeah, I mean, Waller second up syndrome, maybe it was the track, maybe again just Pride of Jenni bounced off the back of it. All honours to Mr. Brightside. Again, people seem to forget that he is the mile master. But yeah, I think it was dry, or at least that soft 5 like it was likely predicted. Maybe she doesn't win, but she definitely finishes a lot closer than 5th, in my opinion. She should probably rounds out the trifecta that everyone sort of thought was a moral when it came to trifectas with Brightside Jenni and Via Sistina. But yeah, got to take my licks.
Yeah, definitely do, mate. And you made a bet. You will eat a Chilli, so we do have a Chilli live on here.
Yes, where is it? Here we go. Bird's Eye Chilli. Red Bird's Eye Chilli. I've decided that if it, the more losses she takes, the hotter the Chilli gets. Because again, I don't think, if we run it back, don't think that Via Sistina gets beaten by Pride of Jenni. So I think we'll go a habanero next if it happens again. And if it somehow happens a third time, I'll go a ghost pepper. All right. I will seek out the hottest pepper in the world and I'll get it done. Or maybe I'll do that, hottest chip in the world challenge or hottest gummy bear, those novelty things. But we've got Bird's Eye Chilli. Apparently it's 20 times hotter than a jalapeno, punters, if that's the sort of thing you want to go judging by. So what, you reckon I just chomp it straight down?
I reckon you just do it, mate.
Okay.
Stop thinking about it. It's soft.
Oh, geez, it's looking very mean.
Hurry up.
All right, batten down the hatches, eh?
Got a bit of crunch to it.
Oh, it's hit straight away. Oh, I love these cooked, but raw, it's so bad. Oh, fuck, it's hit the throat. It's all good in the mouth, but it's hit the throat.
I can't actually believe this is happening. This is not real.
How long do I get before milk?
Another 2 minutes.
2 minutes. All right.
It can't be that bad.
Oh, it's one of the ones that builds. It's building.
Me and those people at home are just like, nah, it's not that bad, mate. Get over it. You need a bucket?
No. I'll be good. You just run with it.
Don't vomit in the new studio, mate.
I'm not gonna vomit. It's
You
just
can have
it's
some
gonna
milk.
sit there.
You can have some milk.
Oh, thank you. Oh. Oh my God.
It can't be that bad. Give me that little last bit. I want to see how bad it is.
You want to do something?
How bad do you reckon it is?
It's not bad. Like it could be worse, but it sits there. Like the raw chili, it just sits there. Once you got the seeds and the membrane. Oh. What kind of milk is this, by the way?
I don't know. Why? Does it taste good or bad?
Just doesn't taste like the milk I've got at home. You know, maybe you're a skim family and I'm a full cream family, or the other way around.
I didn't have a lot of it. It's all right. It's a chili.
Oh,
Weak. Hugo said weak.
That's gonna sit there for the rest of the pod. Oh, I hate that. Can I have some beer? Oh wow. Okay.
Right. Well, we'll move on.
Back to regular scheduled programming. I'm gonna be sweating for the rest of the pod. Oh God. Okay. Take us through the review of last week, mate. We had 4 winners.
Yeah, it started off well. I went against Pilco. Sorry, mate. Not very professional here, mate.
Sorry.
No, yeah. I went against Pilco, and I think he sent us a message saying the jockey in the end didn't get it right.
Didn't get it to the spot that they wanted it to.
Yeah. So mine won $10. Looked like it was going to start off as a really, really good day. You're still struggling over there. I am. We can all see it.
I am.
I'll take over for a bit.
Please do.
You've got Jolly Star. Didn't go too well, I thought. I was looking. I thought we both spoke about it. We thought it was either going to be a massive day or it was going to be a pathetic day, and it ended up being a pretty average day.
It is always the case when we're that confident. We're like, whenever we get on the pods here and we say like things on morals or we're real confident in the day, it's either going to piss in or it's going to come like Via Sistina on the weekend and like Jolly Star on the weekend. So many results that could have been a huge day, but it just didn't go away in the end. But I won't, turn my nose up at 4 winners. It just could have been so much fatter for us.
Yeah, I think Storm Boy let us down, missed the jump, probably would have won. Did pretty well. Just used way too much petrol to get up the front in the end.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on that? Because Adam Hieronymus is getting a lot of slack for not just taking a sit and coming on late. Do you think he did the right thing?
That horse has only ever led. It's a Gay Waterhouse horse who gets taught to go
I
for it.
100% agree.
Those people, no way.
Like I saw some stat that I don't know how many starts said. Let's just say it's had 6 starts, but it said half his starts he hasn't jumped with them and led. He's lost. Or every single start that he's jumped and been up on pace, he's won and won comfortably.
He's only young. He's only just turned 3 years old. Like you're still struggling. He's only just turned 3 years old. He's still learning. He's never run anyone down. He's only ever led the whole way.
He's a leader. He's an out and out leader. He's
Adam Hieronymus, nothing wrong.
It's kind of like a nature strip back in the day where it wasn't until very late on in his career he learned to be able to take a sit. It used to literally be, I want no one else around me. Everyone piss off. I want to be in front and just run him into the ground. Like if any horse goes on the side of me, I'm going to water. But I think that's the case for Stormboy, and it's a bad habit. It's, your Solcombe. Solcombe could be so much better if it didn't have that habit of missing the start. Stormboy's missed the start in a couple of key races now. If he does that on Golden Rose Day, he won't be winning.
Yeah, it's definitely not a bad point. But yeah, and then Via Sistina, like we said, just didn't eat up the track very well.
That's what I like to think. That's the excuse I'm going to give it because I don't think it's that bad.
No, I don't think it was that bad of a run. It still went all right, but yeah, just didn't get the chockies in the end. I think I had a lot of horses that I thought were going to win. I know Immortal Star. Is that Immortal Star? Yeah, Immortal Star won.
No, so we had Growing Empire down in Melbourne, and then we had Silent Star was your tip in the highway, and then Sunshine in Paris ran down Jolly Star, and then also Unusual Legacy was really good there at Rose Hill again.
Growing Empire, wow!
Like that made me sweat so much, sweater harder than that Chilli because it blew out massively. It was $1.70 into like $2.20, and I was getting really, really worried. And then it ran to make me really worried. I started to head it, but like it just turns out Mark Zahra hadn't pressed the button. As soon as he pressed go, he was off going. Looked easy.
Yeah, 100%.
So like you'd think maybe now has to be paying $1.10 to be picked in the U-long slot for the Everest. I can't see any other option other maybe than I don't know. You've just got to, haven't you? You've just got to. If the camp's willing to send him, they've just got to pick him. And then you'd think after that, straight into a Coolmore. He's the deserved favourite of a Coolmore, and he probably should be winning that if he maintains this ability because he's looking phenomenal.
100%. And in the end, the Quaddie saved us. So
yes, that's the big winner of the day. Quaddie saved us, and a $50 bet would have given you quite a bit of profit in the end of the day. So I believe it was about $900 you would have gotten if you spent $50, like we suggest you do.
Couple of my mates did in the end, so good for them. But no, it did save us in the end, and spewing that double doesn't have that on the market.
Yeah, it's coming soon. It's coming soon. So once they do, we're definitely going to be able to put them up, and you'll be able to copy them. If you do so, of course, make sure to gamble responsibly. Set a deposit limit. But yeah, that was in the end what I ended up cheering for, because as the winners started to fall away, and I was getting a little disappointed we weren't getting that 6, 7, 8 win a day like I thought we were going to when it started off. I was very happy that came in, considering how much it paid. I don't think a single favourite got up in races 7 through 10, so it was chock full of value, and you can't complain with that at the end of the day if you got on it. So, and we are the Quaddie Poddy at the end of the day. We need to be tipping those quaddies.
Yeah, I think this spring we've started off pretty red hot. So
yeah, 2 from 4 so far in the quaddies, and
they've
both paid quite well.
Yeah, they're definitely up in price if you're getting on it. So we're also going to call out the numbers later today. So when we get to it a bit later,
yes.
I know a lot of you guys were asking us that we go through it a bit too quick, and it is the main point of our podcast. So we'll slow it down for you, but that brings us in to the hotline.
Go to the hotline. Yeah, let's just connect it up. We'll get the headphones going, and we'll see what we have today. We've only got, I think, 2. Yeah, should be. Let's see here now. Right. We'll get it up. Come on, Blue. Like I said, we've only got a couple this week. Not really eager to be calling in. Most of them have just texted in with the listener questions. All right, this comes from Lockie Howard.
Hello, boys. I'm back again. Lachlan Howard. Just a quick thank you to Sunshine and Paris for paying for my night, you beautiful horse.
Welcome.
And a special shout out to someone who's also called Lachlan Howard. If you listen to this, I hate you. So stop copying my name.
He's told me, he texted us, a bit of context for that, boys. The Lachlan Howard apparently that called in before wasn't this Lachlan Howard, who is a long-time fan of the pod. So apparently there's a bit of controversy there because he thinks there's a bit of copying going on. But
that's weird.
Yeah. What are the odds, eh?
I don't know. It's a pretty common name, kinda.
Lachlan Howard. Yeah.
It's copyable.
Yeah. Oh well. Let's move on. Charlie Manning, aka Shao Betts, he's back. Let's see what he's got for us this week.
Hey boys, Shao Betts here. Unfortunately,
shower?
I'm away right now, so can't be in the shower, not near a shower.
You're away. Okay.
For the weekend and a bit of the week. Got 2 bets for you. Also, just like to quickly say, whatever I say, just don't back it, because it seems to be everything I fucking say goes to fucking dust. I mean, I tip Riff Rocket, then it dies 2 weeks later. I mean, Via Sistina, I tipped it, can't win. I mean, all of the fucking horses, it seems to be I just can't tip a winner. Anyway, boys, sorry. Getting down to it. Amina, just think it wins. I reckon it does better than Autumn Glow. I reckon it does well second up. Bang. And I like Tom Kitten as well. Bang. 2 bets for you. Love you, boys. Sorry there's no shower bets this week.
Doesn't feel right.
Does not feel right that there's no water trickling along in the background there. But
you can actually hear him. Jeezy sounds different when there's no water in the background.
Fair, it's fair bets to have. Tom Kitten,
is that
I'm sure that, that's only the 2 this week. But I'm sure you'll be around Tom Kitten later, as we'll discuss. And then Amina. I personally think Amina probably can't beat a Manawa Autumn Glow, but we'll go through it again a bit later on. But the listener questions, mate, we've got a few of them. Let's start rattling through.
First one, not a question, but a heads up. Orchestral resumes this Saturday in New Zealand, and it's kind of trial before Australia.
Does it really? I was waiting for that horse. It is too. Look at this. I was waiting for that horse to come first up. I did not realize it had gone back to New Zealand. So yeah, add that to the around the grounds. I rarely bet in New Zealand, but I'll definitely be getting on it because that is a very, very good horse. And I look forward to it coming back over if it does so.
And this will be the last one because this will be a bit of a long one. It's from Ted. What's your ultimate Everest lineup? Can include any horse from the past 10 years.
Have I got to pick 12? Because that's going to...
No, that's what I'll say pick 3.
Okay, 3 each. Okay, yeah.
Nature Strip's a lock.
Yeah, Nature Strip's a lock to go in there. From the how many years did we get?
Imperatriz would probably be a lock.
Nature Strip, Imperatriz.
How many years? Last 10, he said.
Last 10. Black Caviar then ruled out because you'd have to chuck that in. So we've got Nature Strip. We've got Imperatriz.
Chautauqua would fall into that? Or is that
Chautauqua, I'm pretty sure ran in the first Everest. So I reckon peak Chautauqua, chuck that in. Because I think it was at the end of its run that it got in there, but prime Chautauqua for the third one. It's a good question. It's a very good question. I would like to potentially see who's like a good now horse because we're going backwards. Who right now that we could chuck amongst them?
Bellanip, maybe. It wouldn't do that well against Prime them.
Let's say
Prime Strip is up there.
Yeah, Prime Strip's very good. So Strip, Imperatriz, Prime Chautauqua. He's stumped me here. He has absolutely stumped me. I say for a modern one, maybe go Giga Kick pre-injury just to see if
I was thinking about Giga Kick, but
Giga Kick pre-injury.
What about Millie's Jewel?
No. If she was actually a sprinter, I'd say yeah, maybe, but we figured out she's not a sprinter.
We'll leave it at that, mate, because we don't have all day.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna actually throw a couple of.
Would you put Winks in?
I'd throw for shits and gigs, chuck a Winks in, chuck an Animo in because everyone said that they could win anything, no matter what the distance. Throw them up against some actual prime sprinters and see what happens.
Yeah, I reckon my old man Glenn Highland's screaming outside saying, "Why aren't you picking Winks?" So come on, Blue.
I would love to see if that actually was able to see because they were saying put Animo in an Everest. I'd love to see him actually in one. But yeah, is there any others, or did you want to move on?
That's all of them. That's all of them. So we'll move on. Our futures bet. Punt to the future. This will be our last one. We can't pick one every week.
So we've had 5 each, including this one, and then we'll see down the spring. Let's see if any of them come off and see if we can make some profit. So, mate, who are you putting your $10 on this week?
Go on Elias for the Caulfield Cup. That'll be my tip. I don't know if it'll get down there, but it's paying $15. If it gets down there, should do well. It's doing really well at the moment. Absolutely flying. Should be all right.
Yeah, I believe Metrop's obviously the main target, and I think they said if it comes through that well enough, potentially heads down there. And I would think if it wins the Metro, like I think it does, it should be competitive in a Caulfield Cup because that reveals that it can go that distance, and it should get in well at the weights. Mine is a bit of a rogue one. I'll preface this, punters. I'm not looking for like the ultimate winner here. I'm probably going to be picking something else on the day. This is purely to get a horse into the race and then have it at a juicy ticket. It's a horse by the name of Federer in the Golden Eagle at $100 to win, $26 to place, $5 each way. Again, it sounds silly, but it's rising through the benchmarks. Hold on. It's rising through the benchmarks. It's running this week at Caulfield. It's like $1.70 favorite. I think it pisses in, but it just needs to get there because if it gets there, I can't see it starting more than like a 20s. Okay. If it gets there and wins well on the weekend and then wins its next start well, surely it's getting in there in the order of entry. It won't be paying hundreds. Like I said, that'll be a very, very hot race. That's almost race of the spring. Is it good enough to potentially win? I would think maybe not. But if I can get a horse in that race that's paying like $15 to $20, I'm cheering if I'm on at hundreds. You know what I mean? And again, I'm just looking for potentially it to fall into the money at the $26. I'm taking $130 just of a $5 punt. Might be a donation, but I wanted to go out with a bang, and if it somehow comes off, fuck, I'm a genius.
It won't.
Well,
Last time you had a bet like that, it was Two Darn Lizzie in the
Yeah.
slipper. Didn't even make it in the field. Dropped off the face of the earth. Yeah, Gay Waterhouse said it was a top girl. Clearly not.
Yeah, clearly not. A top girl won the slipper. Randwick rundown. Okay, it's a hot card. My goodness me, hotter than that Chilli. It is fantastic.
Which is a good sign. I feel like we do better when it's good, like better fields. I feel like
Yeah.
every second week
Cream rises
at
to
the
the
moment.
top.
At the moment, every second week has been our better week. So last
That's
week,
very true.
we missed out a little bit. We still made a bit of money, still did well, still made some profit. But the week before, we had an insane week. And so hopefully we can back that up with another insane week here. Take us to the track report, mate.
Yeah, it's a good 4 currently. It will be on race day. It's very, very dry in Sydney. The only reason it starts anything more than that is if somehow the heavens open up and rain comes down. They're going to have to irrigate the heck out of it to make sure it stays a good 4. Rails in true position, so you'd hope it plays pretty fair. Did last week in the end with that 6-meter rail or 5-meter rail, sorry, wasn't actually that bad. You know, horses had an even chance, and it should here considering it's in the true position. So I think, you know, the cream will rise to the top, like I said a couple seconds ago. Best horses should be winning on the day, no matter where they're at in the track. Race 1, 1,600-meter benchmark 72. Absolutely gross race to start. I certainly
good
will
racing
not-
starts, but not in the first race.
I will not be one that will be super enthused to have a bet, but you know, you come here for tips. I'm going to give you something. My on topper is Corvette, potentially a $5 each way play max. Because it's paying $10 to win, $3.20. If it comes out and wins, I'm happy to take the $50 to start off the day. Has great form lines behind some city winners. Also, the horses it's beat when it's won its 2 wins this prep has produced quite a few subsequent winners as well. So good form lines. Collett's also on fire at the moment. $10 to win, like I mentioned, $3.20 to place. Small each way play.
It's out to $10. Yeah?
Yeah, $10 Corvette.
Oh, you're going each way. Sorry.
Yes,
that's
each
okay.
way.
I'm going with Flying Bandit for me. $5 for the win, $2 for a place. First up wasn't too bad. Came second. It's going second up here. Should be nice. Like I said, tough race. Stay away from this one personally,
Very
punters.
tough race.
Save your money for a bit later when you get
Save them for the good ones.
couple good ones.
If you bet anything, max $10.
Same applies here with the highway, class 3, 1,000 meters. Tough one here. She's Exotic looks pretty good, to be honest. You can see how that goes. Probably be my tip, to be honest, as well. J-Mac hops on board as well. Cannot complain. Unbeaten, 4-year-old mare. Pretty easy to go with if you really want to go with someone. But like I said, it's a highway. It's always tough.
You know, it's a fair enough call there. Look, again, it's a tough one here. Perennial carries 60 kilos. I don't love that, but over 1,000 meters, weight's usually not as much of an issue because they only have to carry it for 60 seconds. But you know, hopefully just stalks the pace, just finds the back of them, because I feel like a few of them will go out a bit hectically here and just hopefully just sits right on the back of them. You know, Zach Lloyd, if he's able to put it right in a good spot, doesn't get it posted because in case it needs to get out and doesn't get stuck on that rail, I don't mind the $5.50 price tag for Perennial on the highway. But again, my betting won't start until race 3 as we move in here to the 1,600 benchmark 84. Straight to the point here, bear on the loose. Give me strong, just fine vibes here, guys. Strong, just fine vibes. You know, Gabe bought it to be raced with my racehorse. Rises through grades and potentially goes on to some group races later on in the spring. Will it win those group races? I'm not quite sure, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be able to get there, which means if it's true, has to be winning here. Also, really the only horse that's going to be playing Catch Me If You Can going out to the front. Not many other horses like a bit of pace. So I think at $2.30, I have to have him.
I'm going with Junie Parl here. Tommy Berry on board, $14, $3.40 for a place. Doesn't look too bad. Not too much I'm really interested in here. So if I went for something, it went for a bit of value here. Race
Fair
number
enough.
4, benchmark 78. Have to go with my horse, Jiffle Legend, $21, $5.50. In saying that, it's kind of stuck in between winning a midway, stuck just before winning a midway, and then going up to benchmark. I don't think it'll be going too great down up here, but look, who knows? It's won at the price before. Dill Gibbons hops on board, but he's coming against a bit better horses here. $21 is probably the price I put it at, and it's something I can at least have a bet on. So if you want to have a go, but well timed is a very good horse.
I'm going to be going with the Chris Wild trained gelding, pure alpha. It's slightly raced, and every time it's stepped out, it's usually done well, except for last start where it, very short price, jumped out to 1,500. And the excuse that was given from the camp was probably it's a bridge too far. They reckon it's maybe a pure 1,400 meter horse because every time he's been at the 1,400, he has excelled. $5.50 to win, $2.15 to place each way. Happy to take that. And Cashy's back in the game because that Chilli's finally starting to wear off. I'm pepped up again. I'm ready to take us to race 5 and what should be an absolute cracker. 2,000 meters, Group 3 Kingston Town Stakes here. Now, punters, it all rests on the fact that if Zardozi gets a start, how she wasn't given a start in the first place is beyond me. But she's the second emergency. She needed 2 scratchings to come in. One's come in so far. So currently she's sitting at the first emergency. So he's also double nominated for the 7 stakes later in the day. So she might not even race here even if she does get a start.
Shouldn't.
Very, very confusing. But obviously she's the class horse of the race if she gets in. So she is one to be very, very wary of, especially as she starts to get out to that 2,000 meter plus. But I am going to be sticking with the horse that we already mentioned. You're on him for the Caulfield Cup. I'm on him for the Metropolitan. Elias. He is here at $3.80 odds. I'm very keen to take him. Last start, he ticked that box of being able to do it on a dry track. He also ticked that box of being able to do it in pressure with some spring horses because they went to beat him. And he just pressed that button down the straight and kicked back on him and ran away with the job. Very hot race. You've got your chair wolves here. You've got some other really competitive horses. Your Colour Paws. Don't know if that should be at $41 considering the races. It's potentially one. Your Golden Path's a very strong horse as well. Serpentine might also be up there considering with, the leader. Might just sneak into the money. But there's a horse I spot here, Nick. Valiant King, $67 to win, $13 to place. I'm going to have a absolute molecule on each way just in case this horse comes out and shows his talent. Last time we saw this horse was the Caulfield Cup 2023. It was only 4 lengths off without a fight and west wind blows. So class-wise, it's right up there. But it's off a year break and only the one trial. Not the one trial, the 2 trials to get ready. Usually I don't love horses that have had a year break. They're usually not fit enough. But I am very, very scared of this horse considering it was so close to some of the best in the world. And now it drops back to what should basically be the B grade or even maybe the C grade for some of these horses when it comes to our staying talent. So very small bet each way there, but the main one is Elias.
Fair enough. I think Elias wins, but I'm going to go something similar. Let's say your tip's Elias. I'm going to go with Serpentine. All right, $23, $5 for a place. People might call me crazy, but won a race really similar to this last spring at the start of pretty much September down in Melbourne. Everyone thought it's a bit of a warm-up. It was a bit less of a distance, but it's won this distance before. But it does well. So I'm going to give it a go here. $23 is the price I'm happy to take as we move to race 6. Wow, I reckon this is one of the races today.
Very, very good race. It wasn't a great race when you saw Tom Kitten, but the fact that he drew out makes it a lot more equal across the board. He still could potentially be too strong for him, but he's going to have to do it the tough way.
Yeah, you got Tom Kitten, you got Amendable, you got Gringotts, Scarlet Oak, Freedom Rally, Kintyre, just to name a few. Chorlton Lane's not too bad. Matcha Latte, you can give Rustic Steel, Robusto. Yeah, some good names. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Tom Kitten just because I've been there and he's done me well. So it's gonna be mine, but I reckon this is gonna be a cracking race.
Look, I see Scarlet Oak here, and I've been super keen to see what this horse can do during the spring. I've got it on my board as potential Group 1 winners. This spring, I put that. She was the first one to go on there due to her amazing winter carnival up in Brisbane. I thought she was an absolute moral in the Queensland Oaks until she had respiratory issues and got pulled out 700 meters before the post. So that absolutely crucified my bank account. And so she owes me. So hopefully she gets up here. But she's had some really good trials in the meantime, which looks like the respiratory issues are behind her. And they'd have some strong intent here to get her into an Epsom. They need to really be winning this if they want it to really get into that field for the Epsom. And you'd think that's where they're headed. If not, again, needs to be potentially winning this to get further up in the ballot for a Golden Eagle. So $7.50 to win, $2.40. I'm all over it each way. I'm going Scarlet Oak in the 6th there.
Move us to race 7, mate.
Mate, and this is another ripping race. Last year with this whole Princess series, it all came down to 2 horses. It was Tiz Invincible versus Komochi all spring. And I feel like this year it's the same thing. The battle of the 3-year-old girls. It's Manal and Autumn Glow. They finally clash here. In your opinion, Nick, is it a 2-horse race or are you going elsewhere?
Well, I say it's a 2-horse race, and I've made it a 2-horse race in our quaddie. So I think either one of them win unless something really, really confusing happens. The only one I'd really concern me is Erno's Cube. If you really want to keep Erno's Cube in, she's not too bad, but I'm pretty confident Autumn Glow or Manal gets up.
Yeah, look,
look, you pick one and I'll take the other because I'm happy. I'm happy either way.
Give me Autumn Glow. I'm not happy at that price. If it goes above $2, I'll be getting on it for sure. I think it probably will get out to $2. I genuinely think wait till race day punters. I would be very surprised if it's starting at like $1.80, $1.75 against a Manal. So I genuinely think Manal comes into below 4s and Autumn Glow drifts out to above 2. I think they're just going to come together down the outside and storm over the rest of them, and it'll be a fight to the finish.
Fair enough.
So you're going Manal?
I'll take Manal.
Fair enough. We skip race 8 because that is in the tip-off. We go to race 9, 1,100 metres.
This is the Everest?
The shorts. Oh, bloody feels like it. It's the mini Everest, as we like to call it, the shorts, because each and every year the field is made up of horses that are already locked in. We don't see that this year because barely anyone's been locked in yet. And then there's the horses that are very much on the verge of getting locked in. And then the rest of the field's usually made up with those ones that are trying to get those, last 3 slots. So considering just about no one's been locked in except for 3 horses, you'd think the winner here gets locked in or at least gets the attention of some slot owners. And I feel like 90% of this field wouldn't look out of place in an Everest. Would 90% of this field win one? I say no, but they certainly would warrant a spot in it. It's a very interesting one. I think there's going to be a hectic tempo. That's what I'm predicting. There's a lot of horses that like the pace. There's a lot of horses that are going to go out hard here. You'd think Lady of Camelot goes right to the front. You'd think a Coal Crusher goes right to the front. Our Kobe Son, Way to the Stars. That's almost half the field that is going to try and get into a speed battle. I think that sets it up perfectly for a horse that's going to sit just off it, and that's going to be I Am Me. I know it's the favourite. I don't love backing a favourite in such tough races like this, but the way she just dug and dug and dug for me last start and got up. We were on her at 11. She got into 4s and just got the job done over Bella Nipotina, who's blocked in for the Everest. She's my number 1 seed for the Everest at the moment as well, so I really respect that form. And also, just like Bella Nipotina, this horse just gets better with age. Every single start, it just improves and improves. J-Mac took notice. He's kicked Nash off and said, I'm on it now. Again, this just adds it to the conversation of horses that J-Mac could potentially be on in an Everest if this horse gets locked up. He's already ridden Giga Kick. He's already ridden Jolly Star, and now he's riding this. $3.60. I'm just going to have to take her.
It's a tough one. I think Lady of Camelot looks all right, but I think in that race last week, it kind of looked like it wouldn't have, if it got an extra 100 meters, it wouldn't have ran it out very well. You saw other horses kind of running over the top where she didn't look like she could run on very, very nicely.
Yeah, I don't love this setup for her. And now that I've said that, it's probably going to piss in. But
it might win. It could win. I just don't like horses that come 2 weeks later and they get a drastic weight change. Like she's getting an extra 5 kilos on her back.
Because she's gone from weight for age to set weights and penalties. Yeah. So the fact that it's at set weights and she's a golden slipper winner, so they've whacked her with a bit of a penalty. She's now equal weights with an IME who's got a few more runs on the board against horses like this.
Yeah, this might trigger you, but I'm going to go with Aft Cabin.
Jeez, that's a big call off of what he produced last start.
850 and 270. Didn't have much luck, I would say. Didn't get put in the best position. Had every chance in the end, but had to move a little bit. So look, we'll wait and see. But I think this horse, I've been told by Cummings Connections that and Godolphin, that since it's been gelded, it's looking really good. So gonna go with Aft Cabin.
Okay.
And we move to the last benchmark 88. 1,200 meters. Win chat looks pretty good. Scratch last week. It's going to be mine. $3.40. Great horse. Been on it a lot. Gets a lot of wins for us. Should win here. benchmark 88 should win pretty nicely.
Yeah, I'm just going to go Moravia. Only 4 lengths off Bella Nipotina and IME in the Concord a couple of weeks ago, and I just talked up how much I respect that form. So considering it's now back to a benchmark 88, I'll happily take $3.70 for a horse like that. And so that's going to take us into the tip-off, mate. And before we get into anything, let's make the big announcement. We put the vote out. What's going to be our forfeit if we lose the tip-off? What is the loser doing? We had an option of 10-meter dive, calendar shoot, run for every point we lost, but what won in the end, Nick?
Well, everyone would have been able to see it that voted for it, but it is going to be 24 hours in McDonald's.
24 hours in McDonald's.
Yeah. Fuck, that's literally the one that I did not want as well.
Just don't lose then, mate.
No, I won't. I'm up.
You're up by about 10
told you. You're going to tip first. I'm going to tip every horse you tip, and I can't lose. Simple as that. No, we'll be right. I've been doing well last couple ones, and I've been doing better than you, so that's all that matters.
I just got to chase you down, baby. I'm coming.
Baby, that's
back
weird.
marker. Cash.
How you feeling, by the way, after the Chilli?
It's settled. It's going to do havoc on my stomach later, but it's settled. I'm still feeling like in the.
Can you eat the stalk?
Piss off.
Eat the stalk.
I'm not eating the stalk. I'm not eating the stalk. Come on, mate.
Eat the stalk.
Yeah, it's just sitting, right there. But I should be fine for the end of it, apart from a couple of coughs that may come and go. So yeah, we're playing to avoid 24 hours in Macca's. That's
and
what we're playing for.
Change. We'll look at the rules. I think it's either a quarter pounder or something and takes an hour off or something.
No, I thought so. Every burger's an hour off. I say you get max 3 of each burger. So you could take 3 cheeseburgers, but after that you can't use a cheeseburger again. You
hamburger.
Move on. Yeah, if you want to do a hamburger, whatever. But 3 quarter pounders, 3 McChickens, 3 cheeseburgers. You can only use 1 burger 3 times. So you can't sit there and just smash 14 cheeseburgers and just piss off. You've got to.
So I need to have at least 20 burgers and to be there for like 4 hours. Yeah.
My strategy would be to get 12 to 15 done and be there. I'll rock up at an 8 in the morning, just start chewing into that all-day menu, like to get the cheeseburgers and quarters out of the way.
What about McMuffins?
Nah, it's not a burger. That's egg and bacon rolls, not a burger, man. You can't be.
Well, how the fuck am I going to get?
It's an all-day menu. Cheeseburgers and quarter pounders and Big Macs are on the all-day menu. They're all day.
What about hamburgers?
I don't know about hamburgers. You'll have to look into that. I reckon hamburgers are a cop-out, mate. It's the same thing as a cheeseburger. Take off the cheese.
But hamburger's a burger. Hamburger is a burger.
So you're thinking of getting away with 6 hamburger/cheeseburgers. That's 6 hours gone.
Well, they're 2 different burgers, mate.
Whatever. We'll figure it out. I will say Happy Meal counts.
Actually, you know what? Who cares? I'm not going to lose, so
right.
Don't even worry about it.
All right.
That takes us straight into race 8 at Randwick, because this is the Underwood Stakes that we're previewing. So we'll start with the 7+ Sports Stakes. Great race. Fangirl gets away from Via Sistina, plus Zugotcha, great horse, plus Royal Patronage.
Yeah, look, it's a real smoky. They said after its first start, they're potentially going to send it down to Melbourne for a potential, Caulfield Cup. So is 1600 still short of its distance? You would usually say yes in that logic, but look at what it did at 1400 last start. So
where's it from? The US?
Yeah, it's an American horse, and we don't see those many often very down. I remember the last US horse that went any good down here was a Princess Grace. Where's that horse going, by the way? Yeah, you got your Major Beals, who returned to form last start. Still don't think it's probably good enough to be winning here. And you got a Hinged, and then you got a Zardozi, like you said, could come here, could go to the Kingston Town if it gets a start. Don't really know what to do with it. But yeah, what are your thoughts?
Tough one. I think Fangirl will be tough to beat here, especially away from Via Sistina. But I think I'm going to go Zugotcha here. I think her first up looked pretty good. She looks to come back even better. We talk about how good Via Sistina's run was, and yeah, she looked really, really nice. Fell behind her, but look, she gets away from Via Sistina as well. So Zugotcha for me, I think is a bit of a better price, $4.40, $1.60 for a place. Good points coming in for me this week.
Yeah, I'm going back to the Fangirl. Well,
who's surprised with that?
I'm a big Fangirl guy. I've I just ate a chili
Careful.
for Via Sistina.
Careful.
Shut
Don't be a
up.
fan of the horse.
Shut up.
2 weeks later.
I just eaten a chili for Via Sistina. I've got to shave this head if this fangirl doesn't come in for me at some point in the spring. And if she fails here, then I'll start to get a bit nervous because this is a very, very winnable field compared to what she might come up against in a King Charles or a Cox Plate if she goes to a Cox Plate, because I don't think she can win a Cox Plate. So if this doesn't come in, I've only got one start before I'm really going to get nervous. But gets away from Via Sistina. The only negative here is the bad barrier, but I don't think it should be an issue. I think J-Mac knows what happened last start was the fact that it got that little bit too far back. He's going to make sure it jumps cleanly, gets up in that, 2, 3, 4 pairs back instead of the 5, 6 pairs backs that he found himself last start, and just, go around that bend, wait to press the button at the 400-meter mark, and away she goes with it. The only horse I think that's a real big danger is that Royal Patronage, because who knows if that's going to reproduce what it did last start. Was that really good talent, or was it the fact that they were running like maniacs for with that rail out and breaking all the class records? Remains to be. Oh, geez, sorry, that's the chili. Remains to be seen. But yeah, I'm very confident that Fangirl bounces back here. I would like maybe a barrier 4 through 6 instead of barrier 9, but I think that just J-Mac knows what to do here and gets it done.
Fair enough. We'll move to the Underwood Stakes. I'll take over since you're choking on your chili over there. Pericles is your favorite. I think the barrier is the only thing that really challenges it here. Good horse, pretty heavy weight. I don't know if it'd be putting it at that price. I really like this import, man. I really like this import. I really like stays that come over from France. I know it's running.
Do it. You going plus out of carousel?
Yeah.
Damn it!
Are you going as well? It wins. It's a long spring. Look, you don't have to. We can tip the same thing, but I think it looks pretty good. Stays look good from overseas. They come over and they do pretty well in Australia. Looks nice. I'm going to go with it here. First up, $4.80, $1.90 for a place.
I was convinced you were going Pericles. I don't love the setup for Pericles here, and like I said with Lady Camelot,
I think the barrier beats
probably means it's going to piss in now. Look, it's the fit horse of the race. It's definitely coming off a monster win at Moonee Valley where it just did it with ease. But
it's got good form behind Pinstripe.
I've never liked Pericles over anything over the mile. Okay, I know it's won at this distance, but that was back when it was a 3-year-old against horses that are nowhere near as good as this. Anytime it got to the 2,000-meter mark, it came up short because I just don't think that it's a 2,000-meter horse. I think it's strictly that 1,400 to 1,600. I think it's a Mr. Brightside. You put him at 1,400 to 1,600, he's going to run to his best. That's why I don't love that he's jumping to an Underwood here. I've really thought that they were going to keep him on to a Toorak or a King Charles or a Epsom. Still might go there, don't get me wrong, but I thought that they were maybe, going to wait 3 weeks between runs instead of sending him to an Underwood here, or maybe even send him to the 7 Stakes instead. So I really hope that he doesn't get up here now that I've talked so much shit about him. But yeah, plus I do Carousel. People forget that its first up run in Australia, it came second behind a Via Sistina. And who was third in that race? Buckaroo. Buckaroo came out and won last start very nicely and finally franked that form. But yeah, Paso de Carousel basically just, gave Via Sistina the drag into the race, and then they both sort of jogged past them in the end. Paso de Carousel had to do a bit more work than Via Sistina. That it had to get the whip out. Via Sistina didn't, but still was super, super impressive. So I really like Paso de Carousel here. Some people are already saying it's unbeatable in a Caulfield Cup. I don't know if that's the case here, but I really like the setup for it here. Faulkner Park is also one that I'm really keen to see with that residual fitness from Brisbane, because the Brisbane Carnival's produced, the horses that have run really well in a Caulfield Cup the last few years. So this is its first up test to see if it can hang with a few more competitive horses. Big opportunity for Tyler Schiller to grab another Group 1 under his belt, but plus I do Carousel for me as well, mate.
Fair enough.
Take us around the grounds, brother.
This is a tough one. There's a couple here that I definitely like. You go first here.
All right, I've got a few. Race 5, Caulfield, another will, $2. Speaks for itself, really. It's short, but he should be getting up. If it's above $2, I'm betting. If it's below $2, I'm just sitting and watching. Race 6, commemorative, $3.90. Super consistent horse. Always looms to win, but then just gets beaten by one better. Gets away from Sydney, goes down to Melbourne, which I think she finds a bit of an easier field where she's not going to have that horse pop up and just get its nose in front at the last second. Race 7, St. George, $4.20. Really, really keen. Most people would not have missed this horse's first up start. Rattled home after getting caught in a whole world of traffic. It's one of the horses that I'm starting to keep an eye on for the Caulfield Cup, for the Melbourne Cup. This is the first one that's piqued my interest for those cup races. Okay, now that we're getting about to the 6-week out mark for those races, now I start to pay attention. This is number one on my list. So I'm hoping it runs well on the weekend and I can keep it on my list. Race 9, a Pimolus, $8 to win, $2 to place. Shout out Jack Jenkins. Last start should have been a lot closer to the finish, but, it got badly checked. Took a gap. Gap wasn't there. Bumper cars came out and then had to be pulled up. So now hopefully bigger track, gets a bit more space, gets in at a great price. And then to finish off the day, race 10, extra 2 at $6.50 to win, $2.40. I always back it, always runs well for us. Should be a good one.
Every single race. So I agree with you with Another Will. I agree with you with Commemorative. And I agree with you with Ephemeris. Is that how you say it?
Ephemeris, yeah.
Yep.
I also Federer in race 2 as well. I mentioned for that futures bet, but it's $1.70. No bet, just watch it.
The only different one I went in is race 10, red card. That's my only other one. That's for me.
In Orchestral in New Zealand. Sorry.
Yeah. We'll take it to the Quaddie. Race 7, we go Manal, Autumn Glow. Race 8, we go Fangirl, Royal Passionage, Zugotch and Hinged. Race 9, I Am Me, Steffi Magnetica, After Cabin, Private Eye, Lady of Camelot. We've gone a bit bigger there just because, obviously, we went a bit shorter in the first race. And then Wind Chat, Moravia, Kibu, and Foxfighter. Those numbers are race 7, 1, 6. Race 8, 3, 6, 7, 8. Race 9, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. Race 10, 1, 2, 3, 6. $50 gets you 31%.
Yeah, we're usually getting 19.5, so 31.2% will be very nice if it comes off there. We've gone skinny in the first leg, a bit wider in the third leg, and then hopefully a bit of value comes up because we'll get an even bigger payout than we usually do with that 19.5%. Technically you'd probably hope, because we've gone the 2 favorites in race 7, everyone's going to have those 2, and then hopefully the wider the better as we get later on in the day if we're, hoping for the Quaddie to come in. But again, if we're picking the winners straight out, we're not going to complain. So, mate, as we always finish, if you're going to have one bet around the country, who is it and why? Who's your best?
Best of the day, $8 and $2.60. Both of our around the grounds. Ephemeris. Jack Jenkins, he sent us a message, said, make it your best. It's not going to lose. So I'll back you in, mate. $8, $2.60. Be paying real good for me. Take that. Let's go. Jack Jenkins owned.
Lovely. I'm going Randwick race 8. I'm going Fangirl $2.20. I'm going to look silly, aren't I? But no, I just think the barrier is the only reason that it's going to lose here. I think the barrier is literally the only reason it beats it. J-Mac just surely puts it in the right spot, gets it going around the 400, and just gets over the line. People seem to forget just because it lost last start that it's, not that good of a horse. It was like a lip off Zugotcha and Via Sistina. Like, it wasn't that far. They came home almost exactly the same. So Fangirl, for me, would be my best around the country. And apart from that, mate, I think we just got to thank our sponsors as per usual. So shout out to Stridyl. If you're looking to get yourself into racehorse ownership, head to stridyl.com to find your next racehorse today for free. And of course, if you want to copy any of the bets we just went through, head to dabble.com, the Dabble app on your Google Play and your Apple stores. If you do so, make sure to gamble responsibly, set a deposit limit, and use the code MOCKSPORTS when signing up to let them know we sent you. Mate, anything to say to the punters before we go?
Got another live stream Friday night. I know you guys have been getting in there for us. We've done 2 already. This is our last one before hopefully we get a couple more, hopefully a couple racing ones that we come through spring. We'll wait and see. So this will be our last one. Been looking pretty nice on there. So Friday night, halftime of the Swans game. Hopefully the Swannies win. Go the Swannies. Got grand final tickets. So hopefully a couple things going down. Any Melbourne listeners as well. We're going to have some Mooney Valley stuff coming out for the Manikato Stakes, which looks awesome. Thank you very much for listening, guys. We'll see you next week. Good luck on the punt.
And back behind those horses, I Am Unstoppable. Osmosis at the clock tower, led by a length to Shinzo, Arkansas Kid, and I Am Unstoppable is running on. The leader, Osmosis, with 50 metres to go. Osmosis is clear and will take it out.